Okay, we're going to get started. So, welcome to NANOG 65, our largest meeting in Canada ever. So, 912 people registered so far. The number's probably going to be revised upward. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 1,000 by the end of the meeting, which is crazy. Our last meeting in Canada, I believe, Vancouver, was very, very large at the time. It was 700 people, and we thought that was an insane number. We thought, hey, this is peak NANOG. We're never going to see that again, and here we are with almost 1,000 people. So welcome, and that's because of all the people here in the room. So I'm Dave Temkin. I'm the vice chair of the NANOG Board of Directors. Dan Golding had an urgent work commitment, so unfortunately you're stuck with me for about 3 minutes, so I hope I can keep you entertained. Really quick, we're going to go through the host and the connectivity sponsors. The PC will introduce the program. So, what makes us different? We have a lot of discussions at the board about what makes NANOG different, and we engage the community to understand that. One of the biggest things is our membership and community engagement. If you look at other conferences, not the regional ones like RIPE, which is very similar to NANOG, but a lot of the other technical conferences, they're either vendor specific or they're put on by a commercial entity that's job is to make profit off of a conference. That's not NANOG, right? We're here, we're a community that's here to share information, to socialize, to make the internet better. We closely watch the attendee demographics to better understand trends and figure out how to get new people here, and we'll talk about that as far as supporting new operators. So recently we implemented the college immersion program. We have 22 students from 3 educational institutions here. If you're in the room, could you raise your hand? They all clustered together over there. I see a couple over there in the back, but thank you. They're here to find out what makes this group so cool, right? What we do is so important to the internet. It's not as flashy as an app on a phone. It's not some cool new site. It's not some cool new e-commerce platform. But without us, none of that works. And so they're here. Please introduce yourselves to them. They're here to learn. They're here to get involved with the community. Fellowships, always still available. We have 2 here on the Postel. So I don't know if they're in the room or not. If you could raise your hand. See in the back there. So thank you very much. And 1 for the ABBA Memorial. So if you're here. Okay. So I don't see it. But anyway, extremely important to continue to bring new people into this community. That is what keeps it vibrant. That is what keeps us current. As I mentioned, we're a neutral conference. The people who are here, the people on the board, the people on the program committee are doing this to build this community. They're not here to make money, right? They're not employed by NANOG. We have a small group of employees that quote unquote keep the lights on and do a phenomenal job of doing that. But at the end of the day, the people who put this program together are volunteers, and they're not from sponsors, and they're in no way affiliated with them. We do have great sponsors though, and I'd like to thank Resolve for the social last night. They did a phenomenal job for, we never thought this meeting would be that big, and they managed to get us all in there and feed us some great food and some great alcohol. So thank you very much to Resolve. So there's nothing crazy here for those of you who have been here before. General session in this room. Tracks, some in this room, some in other rooms. You'll see that on the agenda. I highly recommend, if you haven't, downloading the Guidebook app for your phone that has the most current agenda information. Again, it's called Guidebook, and you just search for NANOG 65 in there. It's my go-to. It's why we stopped distributing printed agendas. Tutorials, again, people here giving their time to help everyone in the room learn. Lunch today, tomorrow. If you're a newcomer, you received an invitation to the newcomers' lunch. If not, there'll be lunch right outside here. Beer and Gears Tuesday night, and there's a social event every night this week. So thanks again to those sponsors. Survey feedback, real quick. You get this plugged every time. Those of you who have not been here before should know, we read these. We read every single one, and we use it to improve the program. And you'll find from simple things like the fact that everyone up here is now sitting in a comfy chair instead of in front of a table. These are suggestions that we take from the community and we implement them when they make sense. And so thank you, and please do fill them out. Elections. You had to have been a member as of 12 o'clock Eastern time on Friday. So we'd love to have you join as a member now, but if you did not join as a member, you cannot vote in the elections until next year. You'll vote once and once only for the 3 open board of directors positions and an important bylaws change. Relatively procedural, but important for the future of NANOG. There'll be candidate introductions at 2 o'clock today. Voting began at 8 a.m. and will close Wednesday at noon, and the results will be announced Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Again, key to the future of NANOG, please get out and vote. 287 newcomers. That is crazy. And you can see 268 members are attending here out of 893. That number is a few hours old. So when I looked about an hour ago, we were at 912. I'm guessing we're about 940 or so. And of course, thanks very much to our host connectivity and premium sponsors. We'll hear from a couple of them shortly. So with that, I'd like to introduce Chris Tassett and Bill Sandiford from Torx, who are our gracious hosts here in Montreal. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Bill Sandiford. I'm the Executive Director of Torx. With me is Chris Tassett, who is the new President of Torx and who I'll introduce in a moment. Before I get to that, I want to welcome everyone to NANOG and talk about a little event that we had yesterday. So some of you may not know, but we had a train social that brought 50 people to NANOG from Toronto. If you were on the train with us yesterday and you're in the room, raise your hand. Good to see everybody here again. This was an interesting event. We had about a 5.5-hour journey that left Union Station yesterday at 11:30, and 45 minutes into the event, by the time we hit Cobourg, Ontario, we had already completely emptied the train of booze. There was none left. Yeah. Good work, guys. We managed to call ahead to Kingston, Ontario, get them to reprovision the train. We had 8 pizzas delivered, 100 chicken wings, garlic bread, cheese, bacon, all delivered to the train while it was en route. We had a good time, and thanks to everybody who participated. We've thrown a few pictures of the event into the slides here this morning, and I think everybody had a pretty good time. There's been a little bit of a change in the organizational structure at the Toronto Internet Exchange, and effective October 1st of this year, we have a new president. And that's the gentleman to my left, your right, Chris Tassett. Don't worry, for those of you that know John Nister, we're not letting him go anywhere. But for those of you that don't know, he's an expecting father within the next couple of weeks. So he's decided to take a step back and focus more on the operational aspects of the exchange and leave the day-to-day and administrative stuff on to other people. So with that, I'd like to introduce Chris Tassett, Torx's new president, to come up and just say a few remarks.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Bill. So I just want to let you all know a little bit about Torx, those of you that may not know as much. So it's a peering exchange in Toronto, 204 active peers, at all various speeds right now. We reached the peak recently of 188 gig and expect to have over 200 by year end. We've got state-of-the-art equipment and services, and 2 locations, one at 151 Front Street in Toronto, and another location which will be rolled out very soon in a close-by location at Front in Parliament, which is called TR2. We have 7 board members who are elected, have staggered terms. If you're on the board of Torx, can you stand up for a minute and let everybody see you? John's over there, I see, and we've got a few other people here. Scott, Stephen, can't see very well there. Hi, Gabe. Thank you all. We also have, perhaps most importantly, a dedicated 6-member volunteer team that works around the clock, and I really do mean around the clock because I'm on the mailing list, and at all hours of the day or night, you'll see them solving problems and dealing with issues to make sure that everything keeps running smoothly, and they're building our new infrastructure out as we go along. So those of you who are volunteers, if you could stand up as well and get recognized, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And very importantly, especially from my perspective, given the workload in this organization, is that we have Bill Sandiford this year as our new executive director for the first time, our first staff member. And we're very happy to have him, and he's been terrific in helping us do a lot of administrative and management work. So it makes our job on the board a lot easier. And I can tell you that in connection with this event, he's gone way above and beyond the call of duty to make it run smoothly. And on that note, I'd also like to thank Samir Kosla and Heather Fiorino. I don't know if they're in the room, but if you are, please show yourselves, who have helped to organize our event tonight, our social event tonight, which I hope you'll enjoy. Whoops, going backwards here. So the message is simple that we have. If you're not connected yet, you should be. And if you're ready to connect, contact us at the email address indicated. If you need other information, feel free to contact me, or you can reach out to Bill or John, and we'd be happy to assist you in whatever way we can. So I hope you have an enjoyable and productive event, and we hope to see you tonight at the social, which we're co-sponsoring along with .ca and Kix. So thank you all very much, and have a great time.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And next, I'd like to introduce Clinton Work from TELUS, who is one of the NANOG 65 connectivity co-sponsors.
Thank you. Bonjour and welcome to Montreal, Canada. TELUS is very pleased to be a connectivity sponsor for this NANOG meeting. TELUS in the past has sponsored other NANOG and IATF meetings, and we hope to do that in the future as well. A little information about the TELUS network, if you don't know. TELUS provides 1.5 million internet services to customers, as well as 958,000 IPTV, mainly between BC, Alberta, and Eastern Quebec. TELUS also has over 8 million wireless subscribers using our HSPA and LTE network across Canada. TELUS internet and data services are built across our 100 gig E MPLS core, which is built using TELUS's WDM transport network. AS852 implements most of our internet peering in the Seattle Weston, Chicago Equinix, and 2 locations in New York, 60 Hudson, as well as 111 8th Avenue. TELUS has been in the news recently. Back in June, we announced that we're going to be deploying fiber to 300,000 homes and businesses in Edmonton, Alberta, using GPON technology. And this past Friday, we also announced that we are going to be deploying fiber to our internet customers in Vancouver as well. A few details here about the connectivity we're providing to NANOG. We've deployed a standard business internet Gig E service over dark fiber. TELUS put a EX3300 DMARC switch in the telco room of the Fairmont Queen Elizabeth that's connected over dark fiber back to our 7750 RE router in our Montreal POP. And there's a dual stack BGP session running from our AS852 backbone to the NANOG ASR router here in the building. The last thing I'd like to TELUS is also in the process of rolling out IPv6 dual stack connectivity to our internet customers. This is rather timely given that Aaron is now out of IPv4 address space. As a result of this deployment, Canadian IPv6 usage has increased from 0.5% to over 1.6% at the start of October here. And we're really hoping to see this increase considerably over the next several months as we finish our IPv6 rollout between Alberta and British Columbia. Thank you very much, and enjoy the meeting.
Oops. So, and now from Videotron, Philippe Couture. Again, co-sponsor Connectivity. There you go.
Bonjour Montréal, bonjour NANOG. Alors au nom de Vidéotron, c'est pour moi un grand plaisir et privilège de vous souhaiter la bienvenue à cette 65e conférence de NANOG. Good morning and welcome to Montreal. Vidéotron is proud to be a connectivity sponsor to this 65th NANOG conference. Montreal is a vibrant, bilingual city, and I hope you get to experience some of it through the socials and this great location we have downtown. As a wholly owned subsidiary of Québécois Media, Vidéotron provides television, internet, telephony, and mobile services to a large majority of the Quebec population, as well as to its large, medium, and small businesses. Vidéotron has been ranked as the most admired telecommunications company in Quebec for the last 10 years in a row. From its cable roots in Montreal more than 50 years ago, Vidéotron has grown to become a true quad-play operator with almost 1 million 4G and LTE customers in only 5 years, as well as more than 1 million television, internet, and telephony customers. This week's internet access is provided by our Vidéotron Business Solutions division, which provides a wide range of telecommunication services for large, medium, and small businesses. Both our business and residential Vidéotron services operate on a state-of-the-art 100 gig IP backbone that extends to the rest of Canada and the United States. Thank you and enjoy your time in Montreal.
Okay, and finally for me, it's my pleasure to introduce Tony Tauber, who's the chair of the program committee. He's going to tell you about A, the program committee, B, the excellent program that we have today, and introduce our keynote speaker. Some of you who are familiar with the elections process may ask, why was there not a call for volunteers for the program committee during this time? Because normally there is in the fall. We decided to move that to be the winter meeting. There's a lot of turnover that goes on during a board election, and then the board's responsibility is to pick the program committee. In order to allow for more continuity between board and program committee, we felt it was best to shift that forward. That said, we really want people to volunteer. Now is the time to start stepping up and saying, hey, I would like to know more about the program committee, and I'd love to volunteer for it. We need help. This is how this program comes together, not just what's in this room, but what's all around you for the next 3 days. So there's information on the elections website. Feel free to approach me, anyone else on the board, anyone on the program committee to learn more. Thanks. And with that, Tony.
Thanks, Dave. As Dave said, the program committee selection will be getting off the ground soon, and I can say that as I've been on it for 4 years now, and as the vice chair and chair, it's a great opportunity to get to know more people through the industry, to work on some other kinds of skills, and really show other people what you can do. So these are the folks that I have the pleasure of serving with on the program committee. And will be, a number will be up for reselection, and some are terming out, so we'll definitely have room for some new members. So as part of this, in the last year or two, we've been respecifying new program committee tool, and which helps us manage our process, and we've even gotten some automation that feeds stuff through there to the agenda directly and into Guidebook. Occasionally there are little glitches or irregularities, so please give a little bit of patience, but if you do notice something, you can send a note to nanog-staff@nanog.org to see, if you've noticed some inconsistency and want to make sure somebody knows about it. The agenda icon notation. So in this room, the sessions are generally webcast and archived. Most other sessions will be video recorded and archived. There are a few different exceptions, but in general, that's what's going on, and expect that if you go to the mic, you'll be part of the record. That's usually a good thing. So think about what you're going to say. Tomorrow there'll be. This afternoon there will be some tracks. Tomorrow also tracks and tutorials. Just making a note that there's a hands-on tutorial tomorrow in this room on net DevOps, and it's not required that you do the hands-on piece, but if you are interested there, you might want to look at it before you walk in, because there's a little bit of preparation. Inside the abstract, there's a URL that gives some instructions. And if you have questions, you might email the NANOG PC at nanog.org, and we'll try and direct you to the right place. Peering track and peering personal. So, okay, this was a change that we made the last meeting for the first time, and we're continuing. So if you're a longtime NANOG attendee or haven't been here in a while, this may catch you by surprise. So the peering track is going to be on Wednesday afternoon, as it has been for some time. What's different now is that we don't do the peering personals, which was a long-time feature of the peering track, where people get up and say, I'm from such and such a AS, and I'd be interested in talking to people about interconnection, or I run such and such an exchange, and I'd be, and this is something about our exchange and how to get there. Instead, that'll be this afternoon in what's called the peering personals or peering social, which is at 5:15, I believe. We should double check the agenda specifics, and that's what will be going on there. And just general reminders: breaks and espresso bar are outside. Breakfast and lunch are also outside in the Hashilaga rooms. I guess they're the ones along this hallway. For QA and microphone, please speak up clearly. Don't just make a statement. Try and ask a question. Be respectful. State your name and affiliation, and realize, obviously, that it reflects on you. So, best behavior. I don't expect anything less. As Dave mentioned, we have these surveys that are very helpful to us in the program committee to get your feedback on the program, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you thought needed improvement. Please be respectful there as well, not just say something disparaging. Constructive criticism is always what's useful. There's some surveys that are also more general, not about the program, about how was the venue and all that kind of stuff. So if you could please attend to those to help give you incentive. We are we have some prizes. There'll be drawings for survey participants, and they'll be given away on Tuesday for the Monday surveys, Wednesday morning for the Tuesday surveys, and then Wednesday afternoon for the Wednesday surveys. So we'd encourage you to fill those out, and thank our prize sponsors for providing those. And I think now it's time for me to say everyone from here, including me, will depart, and we can invite Jack Waters, who is the CTO of Level 3 Communications, to provide our keynote address.